What's up, Navigating Academia family? This is your buddy Dr. J. Phoenix Singh, your personal academic mentor, coming at you to be able to answer a valued viewer's question. Now, you guys know I appreciate you deeply, so please make sure to take a second. It's totally free for you to smash that thumbs up button, that like button, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already, if you're interested in a career in academia, or if nothing else, getting into grad school, getting a postdoc, or becoming an adjunct professor. So let's go ahead and get started today. Today's question comes from Shri, and Shri asked this question on a video called Advantages to Publishing Articles in the Same Academic Journal. Are there advantages? Are there no advantages? I don't know. I guess you have to Google the video. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. So let's go ahead and get to Shri's very important questions for today, or important question. It is such a simple question, and Shri, it's a great one. So Shri's question is this. Shri says, I just wanted to ask you the advantages of publishing as an undergraduate, if any. Shri, my man, this is the biggest thing ever. If you can get publications, even just one, right, develop personal connections and present at leading conferences domestically or internationally, you have placed yourself significantly above 95% of everybody else applying to graduate school. I'm just telling you right now, it is one of the big three, as I call them, the three things that'll set you apart, the two top ones being personal connections and publications. They are the keys to the kingdom because of what I call the 5 lies. 5 lies are basically anybody telling you that if you have a great GPA, great test scores, great letters of recommendation, great clinical or any kind of practicum experience, and great research experience, that you are a contender for graduate school. It is not true. And it is a lie that is told at every undergraduate university that I have ever gone to speak at. Supervisors are going to tell you this. Career services are going to tell you this. What they don't tell you is that every career services tell people that, and every supervisor is going to tell you that, and a lot of professors are going to tell you that because back when they were applying, it was true. And those people all care about you, so I'm not knocking them at all. What I am saying, though, is that the field of academia and of graduate school has changed, right? It's changed. And because of that, those 5 things may have gotten you in 10, 20 years ago, but they're not going to get you in now. That said, you do need all 5 of those things, right? But working your butt off and getting phenomenal grades, phenomenal test scores and so forth, that makes you average. It's something people don't want to hear, but the funny thing is every video I've ever made where I've mentioned this, if you go to that comment section, Shri, the one thing that you'll find is nobody one time has ever told me that I'm wrong, right? And the reason is because it's the truth. So let's go ahead and talk, though, about why is it that getting publications as an undergraduate, and I use the term publications loosely because if you get one publication, and I'm talking about a peer-reviewed journal article most likely in an impact factor journal, that's what we want. You don't have to be the first author of the journal. The likelihood that you will be the first author of an article in a great journal is very low. In the past 3 years of mentoring over 100 of you, if you guys are interested in booking one-on-one sessions to be able to get my help in getting into grad school, preparing for your interviews, help in actually reading your statements of purpose and actually giving you practical advice on it, as opposed to just showing it to friends and family and career services and these things, people looking at it non-critically and saying, oh, it's great, this little tweak, this little tweak. No. Statements of purpose need a lot of work, and people are not very good at giving advice on them, especially not advice that's very straightforward about how we can improve them. Then go ahead and book a session with me via the website below. We can talk about anything, especially if you're struggling with making a career decision. I can help you out with that too, okay? So let's go ahead and get into it. So what are the big advantages? I've come up with 5 of them for you in terms of publishing as an undergraduate. The first one is it will get you into graduate school, okay? Why? Supply and demand. There are so few undergraduates who have publications relative to the ones who have those big 5 lies, right? There are so few that it helps to automatically sift yourself out from everybody else. And it can also help you to be able to overcome at least one limitation. So for example, let's say that you don't have one particular kind of experience. Maybe for whatever reason, even though you should have it, you don't have in-field experience. Me as a psychologist, some kind of clinical experience. Even if that's just working for a crisis intervention line, domestic violence line, something like a suicide or self-harm helpline, you name it, something like that, or working in a hospital, a clinic, and so forth. If you don't have that kind of patient contact, that can be something that can detract from your likelihood of getting into a leading clinical psych PhD program. So because of that, and because the rates of acceptance are insanely low for those types of programs, you got to set yourself apart, and having at least one peer-reviewed publication, again, like I said, it could be in an impact factor journal, it could be in something like an edited book. You are more likely to get an edited book chapter than a peer-reviewed journal article just because of how edited books work. If you want to learn how to write step-by-step journal articles or edited book chapters, just go to Publication Academy. It's www.publicationacademy.com, and you can take a look at those modules there, okay? And we give a massive student discount. So if you're a student or you're a junior faculty member, you can just send me a private message and we can talk about that, okay? So that'll help you out a lot. Supply and demand, it's going to help you get in, okay? Next, number 2, getting a publication will start this process of developing, I'm not kidding, the number one ultimate marketable skill in academia to help you eventually find a job and get tenure, okay? Finding a job these days that's tenure track is near impossible. Anybody who's got experience with this, you can go ahead and share your experience below. Do people still get tenure track jobs? Absolutely. I actually have 3 mentees of mine who are finishing their postdoctoral fellowships and then wanted my help in landing tenure track jobs. We got all 3 of them tenure track jobs here within the last 6 months, which is freaking awesome. So if you need help with that, let me know, we can talk. But the thing is, over 80% of all new faculty positions are adjunct positions. Why do they want adjuncts? Because people are going to lie to you and they're going to say, this is great because these people have all this in-field experience. In actuality, follow the money, and what you're going to find is that adjuncts get paid a pittance. They usually get paid anywhere between $1,800 to $2,000 to about $4,000 to $4,500 per class. That is insane for the amount of hours that you're putting into that, not to mention teaching the class, not to mention grading things like essays and so forth, doing the paperwork, dealing with the administration. You're getting paid like pennies on the dollar. It doesn't make any sense whatsoever to do, unless you've got that teaching bug that you want to scratch, you want to itch that. Rock on. I totally get it, okay? In which case, you should do it. It doesn't matter if it's about the money or not, right? You should do that if that's something that you're passionate about. I love that, okay? But the ultimate marketable skill, if you do want a tenure track job, is academic writing. Academic writing is not something that you can develop over 6 months or a year. It's not something that's the same as writing essays in undergraduate or writing an undergraduate capstone project. It's not like a thesis. It's not the same as, the work that you would have done for collegiate courses. It is something totally and utterly different, especially for high impact journals. My highest impact article is in a medical journal called British Medical Journal. Impact factor is over 30. Anybody who knows anything about impact factor, that is an astronomical impact factor. And that is one of the best medical journals in the world as well. And the writing style for that article is also different than the writing style for any journal that I've written for in the past. So it's not just writing academically in general that we're talking about here. It is a very specific kind of eloquent writing. There is a definitive structure in terms of how to be able to do it. There are a minimal number of courses that will teach you how to write academically. Most of them are not sufficiently comprehensive. There's just not enough hours. There will literally be, classes made that will talk about, learn how to publish in high-impact journals, and the course is like 2 hours, 4 hours, 8 hours. That's insane. I've been doing this 17 years. I'm still learning things, right? The most comprehensive course is Publication Academy because we developed it within the last 6 months when it launched, right? So definitely go and take a look at that because step by step in a template-based fashion, we train you how to write specifically for academic peer-reviewed journals and also for how to be able to write for these edited academic books, which is the skill that you need to be in academia, and nobody teaches it unless you got a great mentor, okay? So that's number 2. Number 3 is that doing a publication as an undergraduate is likely to get you a strong letter of recommendation. Remember, letters of recommendation, usually we want to be like a triangle. We want somebody who knows you academically, somebody who knows you in the research sense, and somebody who knows you in terms of some sort of practicum-based setting, like a clinical internship, for example. We do not want it to be a recap of the CV. We do not want it to be literally all three people saying the same thing about you. It's going to bore us out of our minds. Please don't do it, okay? If you need more guidance about that, let me know, okay? And obviously getting a publication, somebody saying that you're a great writer and you're so willing to learn and you went through the process and you know front to end how to develop a manuscript. Oh my, this is amazing. But remember, you don't have to be first author. In fact, you can be 17th out of 18 authors. I don't care. At the end of the day, all I want to know is that you are interested and you are showing it through your actions. You are interested in this process of the development of scholarship, of novel scholarly material. Okay, that's the idea there. Okay, number 4 is that by doing a publication, it's likely, if nothing else, that you will learn some kind of an advanced statistical technique, like analytic technique, or some kind of innovative research method that would not have been covered at the undergraduate level. So rarely are you going to see research articles published that are solely descriptive or use something like a t-test or a z-test. It's just not a thing, right? Again, in rare circumstances, you will see that. But remember, we always got to follow the rule and not plan on the exception to the rule. There's a great saying, which is that it's amazing if you win the lottery, but you shouldn't use it as your retirement strategy. This is the exact same thing. Don't plan on the exception, plan on the rule, okay? Finally, number 5. Oh, before we get there, though, just remember that statistical analytic methodology or techniques and research methodologies that are advanced, meta-analysis, digital surveys, these sorts of things, these are the hierarchical linear modeling, propensity scoring, all this good stuff, structural equation modeling. These are things that in grad school, maybe you'll learn them, maybe you won't, right? But especially if you've got a target grad school supervisor picked out and they use a particular statistical package, or they like R, Stata, SPSS, or if it's something where, you know, they only do digital surveys, or those are their highest cited articles and they put them out in the last 3 to 5 years. Oh my goodness. You should really try to get a publication with those methodologies or those analytic techniques following those statistical packages. It would help you so much get into grad school. Okay, and finally, number 5, right? By publishing, it is more likely that you will have the potential, if nothing else, right, to increase your professional network, specifically to individuals, and you can invite them, especially if it's a publication you're working on and you have any pull in writing that publication. You can bring on your target grad school supervisor or one of their students, like a postdoc or a grad student, or it's something where maybe it's somebody that you're working with, right, who's a professor at another university who your current professor knows, the one who is co-authoring the publication with you, who you never thought about being their grad student, but you just get along so great, you become passionate about their work, and then they obviously know what it's like to work with you. It's another great reason to be able to get involved in publications as an undergraduate. Like I said, though, I have had too many experiences with undergraduates basically thinking that they've written a capstone project or an undergraduate thesis and now they can just get a publication. This is just not true. Academic writing for peer-reviewed publications is completely different than anything you would have done as an undergraduate. There is a system to it. There's a way to get it done, but you need training in how to do it. So this is why I built Publication Academy in the first place. I know it seems, guys, like I'm really pushing this, but I am really pushing it, because if you're an undergraduate, you have to trust me, because I care about you, that you don't know what you're doing yet, but you can learn how to be able to do it, okay? So please check that resource out. Okay, guys, that's what I got for you today. Thank you so much to Shri for the question. Be sure to subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, and I'll talk to you in the next one. Peace.